Okay, I'm Fred Davis. We're recording. I wanted to give you a sense of what we experienced at Atlantis last week. As you know, it was one of the company's incentive trips. Also, it was combined with an elite retreat, which is a great combination. The tens go a day or two early, then the elites come, and then 2 days later, the people who've won the incentive trip show up. So by the time it's over, we've been there 6 nights, 7 days. And the good news is there were only 2 hours of meetings. One meeting, 2 hours, one business meeting. The bad news is there were only 2 hours of meetings. So the truth is that most of us were more excited about the meeting than any other part. Obviously, the CEO leads off, and he did something that he called the State of the Union. As you know, Darren is the most believable person ever. And everyone listens, no one talks while he's talking. And he led off with a few things I want to pass along. First of all, the union is great. Things are going well. Retention has increased 13%. There was an explanation of that. Enrollment for the quarter was up 11% quarterly, which would, transition to over 40% annually. The volume for our company from stacks, which are very new, that volume is 16% of our total volume now. And Darren said that was his goal when the stacks were introduced, that we could work up to 15% or 16%. And that's been done in just a few months. That's important for a number of reasons. We can talk about that if you want to later. Now, also, he talked about the importance and explained the importance of a subscription. Remember, subscription is the term we use now that took the place of autoship. Autoship was a bad term to begin with. Subscription is when you have decided you are using the product monthly, therefore you might as well get it monthly, and certain benefits come to you. Now, here's the importance of a subscription. To the company and to the enroller, a customer who is on a subscription is more valuable to you in the life of that customer, more valuable to you than a distributor who's not on a subscription. Believe it or not, there are lots of distributors who are not on subscription. So if you're wondering, there was a message here to all of us. Customers matter. Legitimacy of the company, of course, is based on the fact that the product's used by people who don't use it because they're getting paid. That's the legitimacy factor. You measure that with the company by what the percentage of customers to distributors are. And as you've heard us say, if you're looking at a company and they have as many distributors as customers, then it's really a scam. It's people are buying to get paid, and you don't really know if the product is valuable to them. But when you have a company like ours where 90% comes from customers, that is a real company. And also now we're finding out that we make more money off of a dedicated customer than we do a sometimes distributor. Okay, 66% of all distributors, this is something that I didn't understand, 66% of all distributors were first customers. Is that amazing? Does that really justify those of us who have focused on the customer? Okay, another thing that he wanted us to know is that there is, statistically, there is a golden window of opportunity with a new distributor. And they did the statistics, and if somebody will get a new customer or distributor within the first 2 weeks, the chances of their success are multiplied. In fact, they gave the different percentages of people who ended up at a 2, ended up at a 4, ended up at a 6, and how many of them had, in fact, enrolled somebody in the first 2 weeks. And when they got to Pro 7, it turns out that practically everyone who has what it takes to get to Pro 7 has what it takes to actually enroll a customer or distributor in the first few weeks. Now, that's an important thing. The other one is that a distributor who gets a check is more likely, multiples more likely, to stick with it and go on to be successful and therefore profitable to you, the enroller. And so they are doing something, and this is really the reason for the Zoom tonight. They've announced something that will potentially get a check to your new distributors by the next Friday. Okay. Now, if that happens, it's a 20% commission of an order by someone they don't know, have never talked to, and may never see. Because the company discovered, again, Darren is good with statistics, and they found out that because of the Salt Lake Real soccer program and other things that are going on, we are actually not branded. LifeVantage is not branded in the public, but more and more people are hearing about it and simply going online to LifeVantage.com and trying to order our products. Last year, and this is a number that some of you have heard, staggering, between 900,000 and 1 million people did that. They went online to order our products, and they were not allowed to order our products. $0 the company got from almost 1 million attempts to buy our product. Now, the reason for that is that there's something sacred in network marketing about a company that will not go around the distributor and sell directly to a customer to avoid a commission. And so our company did not want to touch that. So what they've come up with now is a way to do both. So now when someone goes to LifeVantage.com and pushes shop, wants to buy our product, they are allowed to buy it. But in the process, there are at least 3 attempts to get them to say your name, or if they have an ID number. Very rarely do they have an ID number, but they do know your name. And I've tried this with my own account, and it works. Now, if that doesn't work and the person just absolutely has no distributor, then the company will sell them the product, ship it to them, and then they will assign that customer to a new distributor. And at the same time, the next Friday, send a 20% commission check to that new distributor for that order. They'll also send the contact information, with the idea being that this new distributor would follow up, and they give you a script of what to say to the new person. A new distributor is calling a new customer. And let me decline this. This is LifeVantage calling us, so we'll come back to them. So here you go. You've got a new distributor who all of a sudden gets an email that they've earned 20% of whatever the order was, and that they have a new customer that'll be attached to them for life, and potentially they would earn a commission every month on that subscription. So that's exciting. It is to me when you think of it. Now, they've also done the math, and there were, in this test period, more new customers who are unattached than there are new distributors qualified to get them. So you may ask, as we did, what are the odds that this won't happen, that this is just wishful thinking? Well, there are no odds. Okay, let me tell you what your distributor has to do. At the same time, in this 2-hour meeting, Ryan Goodwin rolled out, finally, this new app that he's been working on. So write this down. We are to, and there are good reasons for it, even if we're not a social media person, even if we're not a tech-savvy person, he has finally understood that people who say, I'm not really tech-savvy, are not unusual, they're normal. And we said, thank you very much, because we like to feel normal. And so this app is designed, and here's what you need to do. All of us need to do. I've done it. And if I can do it, Cindy, tell them anyone can do it. Go to the App Store. It doesn't matter which phone you use. Go to the App Store and look for the LifeVantage app. Now, unfortunately, all the old LifeVantage apps are still options. we're trying to get them to remove that. But go there as soon as we get off the phone, off the Zoom, and look for LifeVantage Business. It's not LifeVantage LV Pro. It's not any of those others. Go to LifeVantage Business and download it. It's free. Okay. You will get in with simply your LifeVantage ID number and password. Or I think you can enter your email address. Get in and make sure you are there and that the icon shows up on your screen. And that's the first thing you've got to do. In that app, things will happen that will give you a number of things. One, if you're a new distributor, it's one of the things that qualifies you to get an unattached customer attached to you, an unassigned customer assigned to you. So that's something that you're going to do with every new distributor. The other thing that it does is every time you accomplish one of the action cards, and this new app deals cards to you just as it would in playing cards. And if there's an action card and you do it, every time anyone does one of those, their name is put into a drawing again and again and again. So if you do 10 of them or 20 of them, your name is added to the drawing again and again and again for the NASCAR that will be raffled off. There will be a drawing for it in Anaheim. So there's a reason for that. That is true of your new people also. So I want to be sure and tell you that in order for your new distributor to get these customers assigned to them, they have to do 4 things. One, they have to be in their first 60 days. Okay. Second, they have to be on the app. So there's 5 minutes that you have to do. Third, what did we tell you about, what do we know about subscriptions? They have to be on a subscription. Okay. And the fourth thing, and I'll tell you why this is important. There's another statistic that we got. The average distributor's purchases per month have gone up from $98, this is distributors, not customers, from $98 a month to $121. Now that's a number that usually inches up by $1 or $2 at a time. But somehow, with these stacks and everything else that's going on in our company, they've jumped over 20 percentage points in the size of the order from 98 to 121. So now, and the way you do that is you upgrade. It doesn't matter where you've started, but you upgrade to be a platinum distributor. Again, that's not an investment. You're simply getting product that you've already figured out you're going to use forever. And it's a one-time thing. Becoming a platinum distributor is something you do once, and it's not a big expense, except that you're buying product. Okay? So for your new distributor to magically get a check for 20% of something he didn't do in the first, days or weeks, he has to either be a platinum distributor or upgrade to it. There's no deadline on that. Has to be on the app and has to have a subscription. There's no minimum on the subscription. I thought that was interesting. It can be $40 or whatever. All right, so now Sean, I don't know if Sean's on or not. Sean McKee, of course, was there. She was very much there. Sean, as you all know, was recognized as one of the newest Pro 7s. And she did an excellent job in her introduction and in her acceptance. So we're proud of her. If Sean is on, and I don't know that she could be, then I'd love for her to contribute. Anyone else who was there can do that also. But I want to open it up now. Any questions about what I've said so far? And I did unmute you all.
Can you hear me, Brad?
I can.
Okay, I have a question. When you upgrade to the platinum pack, is that just for the new distributors or is that for us who are grandfathered in?
Anyone can upgrade to the platinum, but if you bought the largest box that was available when you joined the company, you are a platinum distributor. For example, when we joined, there was a $630 box. We all bought that. And so when they made this addition of the platinum, they grandfathered us.
That makes sense. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
But that wouldn't affect a new person because the
Right.
platinum is there. Good question. A good question is one that I can answer. Anything? Is anyone else impressed with this customer assign program?
You got a tropical, right? You do tropical.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am. I think it's great.
Okay. Well, it was pretty exciting, and there were 104 elite distributorships there, and you know, as you would expect, they're always excited. They were really excited with these numbers, especially the fact that our average order is going up over 20%. A lot of us, even some of you maybe who have not added so many people, you're noticing that your pay is increasing. And that is a function.
I don't know how to mute. I'm trying to mute myself.
Well, that's okay. I muted all of you, but you can unmute yourself manually. But I guess what I'm saying is I talked to someone the other day who was out of balance, and their organization had grown in number of people, but because they're not balanced, they made the comment, that's not going to help me. And I said, oh, yes. What it does is it solidifies your future because it means your check is stronger, more solid, and it is a real incentive to not be out of balance. And so he also said that, and I met Eric Worre's son. Some of you know Taylor Worre. I didn't. And someone introduced him to me and said, well, it was Everett Schilling, said, Taylor, tell Fred what you do for the company. And I finally caught the Worre name. I said, oh, okay, he's corporate. He's corporate. He is the man someone sees if they're sent on the red carpet trip. In other words, if you know someone in another networking experience who's been successful, you connect to them and the phone is answered by, and they're talking with Eric Worre's son. Eric Worre's son chose LifeVantage. Eric Worre's mother chose LifeVantage. She is now a distributor. Now, if I am with XYZ company, I may not know much about LifeVantage, but do I know a lot about Eric Worre? Do I know that something had to be special for him? And then when you talk to Taylor, have any of you met him? When you talk to Taylor Worre, and he's young, you shut your mouth and open your ears. He is amazing. And he said to me, get them on the phone and I will get them to LifeVantage. And after about 2 minutes, Becky and I looked at each other and said, he will. First of all, it's the last name. Becky made the comment. It's as though you're in the investment business and you tell a prospect, I want you to talk to Taylor Buffett, Warren's son. He works for us. He promotes us. Warren Buffett is to investing what Eric Worre is to network marketing. So guys, what is happening is people who have been successful with network marketing companies that are not publicly traded, that are owned by someone who wants, I think I've heard you say this, Cindy, who wants to spend $8 million on a jet instead of commissions. And I've had that experience with another company that was privately held. Taylor is going to handle that for us. We no longer have to sell LifeVantage. we have to say to someone, you're going to talk to someone, and I want your reaction to him. His name is Taylor Worry. He's the son of Eric Worry. Do you have a few minutes? And if you will do that, if you'll run it through me, and I'll kind of tell you what they're looking for, I think you can take that weak leg if you're one of those people who is out of balance, find the spot, and then talk to someone who's made money before. I personally think that it's easier to find someone who is not working but still getting paid. Someone who is still working hard is like someone who's married. They're not really going to go on a date with you. You like that? You like that analogy? I like that. But if they're not married, if they're just getting a check, alimony, then they might go on a date. And my wife is going to have a fit when she sees this. Okay, all right, that's my little pitch. Anything else on Taylor Worry? You want to unmute you? Okay. Anyone?
I have a question. On the red carpet, what's the money per month that they have to have made?
Well, there are no hard and fast rules. The number we've always heard was $10,000 a month at one time.
$10,000 a month. Okay.
At one time, but that was not mentioned this time. I haven't heard that in over a year. I think what they're doing is they're looking at the person, the company, and the performance. And nobody does a better job at this than Darren Jensen and Fleming and Rose. I mean, these guys. All right, I've got to mute you again. Okay. Now let me check my notes. Remember, when you get a new distributor, in order to satisfy one of the four things they have to do to get the new customer assignment, enroll them with the app, okay? And if everyone enrolls with the new app, then they will answer for themselves the question of, can I do this? Because the new app does it all for us. And one of the biggest questions in network marketing really is, can I be successful? I know you can because you're this or you're that, but I'm not a real extrovert. I can't do that. Well, if you'll go to the app and play with it, I'd love your feedback on it. Let me look over my notes, and if you have questions, that was what I wanted to tell you. Also, I want to tell you, try not to ever miss anything these people do. We were in Metairie a couple of weeks ago. 4 hours, it's just a pain to get there. Well, it's 3 hours down there. It used to be 4 hours to home. But there was a girl there who, Kimberly Hall, who just said exactly what everybody there needed to hear. And she did it in a way. She did it without one slide. She did it without one video. And yet everybody got what they came for, more than what they came for. And also there was another surprise. There was a 4-member panel. Our own Johnny Menninger was one of the 4. And the other 3, too, were solid. It was the best panel we had ever seen, even including the ones that are done at convention and at the other trainings, quarterly trainings. So as much trouble as it is to be there, it's almost like wanting to see your kid's first home run. You don't get to miss a few games and know that he's going to have the home run maybe when you're there. You have to be at the games or you're going to miss the home run. And you people who've ever hit a home run, or you people who've ever known it was important for someone to see your home run, know that we get a home run at just about every one of these events. And it's a lot of trouble to get there. But, we've never left saying, I did not get the nugget that made that trip worthwhile. All right, so I'm through. This is being recorded. I'll try to distribute that information. Anyone else, I'm going to unmute you one more time. Anyone else want to contribute anything? Tom?
In Utah, a man can marry a 20 woman and he wants to only stay in the United States. I
I'm getting my
can
nails
handle
done.
one, but I can handle 20.
You better mute me because I'm the nail salon having a pedicure.
Are you getting your toes did?
Okay. Different kind of food.
All right.
You might want to mute me.
Yeah, I muted you. All right, if there's no comment from anyone.
I tell you this, if you work, you come home,
Right.
come home to burger every single day, you get tired. But you work to come home, stay
I muted you. Why is it not working?
Else, like 20.
All right, now I've got you. Okay, anyone, we're through. Thank you so much for your time. And I do want you to know that this Saturday is the virtual training out of Jacksonville, Florida. I'm going to do a piece of it. The Trigliers are doing a piece of it. The other people, it's the kind of thing that we went to at Gwen Burt's house last month. And it'll start at 9 o'clock our time. I think it's over at 11:30. It will be an opportunity meeting. The first part is an opportunity meeting. So have people over, have your own. It's going to be a Zoom. We don't have to go to a central location, but if you want to, we will. All right. Any questions about that? If not, thank you and good night.